Welcome, one and all, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. السلام عليكم my beloved ones ورحمة الله وبركاته. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Inshallah, we are going to take our session of Manasik al-Hajj, and yeah, we were discussing about the rules of hunting and the penalty of hunting. So when we go at the end of the Manasik al-Hajj, there is Mulhaq Annex. There are a few questions and answer related to it. Some are repeated. We are just going to go through it. Now, there are people, they ask, why are we doing this Manasik al-Hajj in this way? The thing is, we are doing it because you guys are Hausa students, and for Hausa students, we need to know every single details. But if you were traveling for Hajj, we are not going to discuss this. We're not going to even let you know that what is the penalty of this and what is this burden, that burden, those kind of things. But you need to know all these things A to Z because you are Hausa students. So let's say, take question number one. لو كان مع المحرم صيد من الطيور ومقصوص الجناحين أو لم يبلغ أوان الطيران، فهل يلزمه أن يتحفظ عليه حتى يقدر على الطيران؟ So if this muhrim has a bird, he hunted a bird, okay? Those birds which you hunt them, not necessary for eating, for any other purpose. It's hunting any animal. But let's say it was one of those birds which you hunt because they fly and you cannot control them because they fly. So that's why you hunted that bird. Or you found a small chick and you took it, okay? Uh, or if it did not have wings, so you took that. لو كان مع المحرم صيد من الطيور. So this is something which you hunted a bird and you plucked the wings out, because you know many people, they pluck the wings of the bird so that they can't fly, so they are under control. So this uncontrollable, because you cannot hunt the control. You cannot come to the chicken and say Bismillah Allah Akbar. You shoot at the wings, the feathers, they fly all here and there. So no. Uncontrollable animal, uncontrollable bird, something which cannot be controlled, you hunt. So this bird was uncontrollable. You could not control it, but you hunted, and it got a little bit injury. And after that, he got healed. But what you did, you plucked off his bird, and because you were in the state of ihram, so you just wanted what? To eat it later on, to grill it after you are going to exit the state of ihram. So it says he was plucked wings, okay? His wings were cut, مقصوص الجناحين. أو لم يبلغ أوان الطيران. Or it was a small, it was trying to fly, and then you just hunted and it became under your custody. So he had not reached the level of flying, that he has not he has not reached the level, the age where he can fly maturely. He did not read that. فَلْيَلْزَمُ أَنْ يَتَحَفَّظْ عَلَيْهِ. So you see that you cannot eat it, but you take care of it. So is it necessary to take care of it until he's able to fly? Then you release, because you know the ruling was, if you have a hunt, release it, let it go. Don't keep it. Even keeping the hunt with you is prohibited. Not just hunting, not just eating, even keeping it with you until you are done with your ihram, or until you exit the haram after you are done with your umrah or hajj and you leave the haram. You cannot do that. You have to let it go. You cannot say, I'm going to eat it later on. You cannot keep the animal which is hunted with you. So what should he do? الجواب نعم يطعمه ويرعاه إلى أن يقدر على الطيران فيخلي سبيله. Okay, feed that bird, or feed that bird, and take care of it until that bird is able to. If it was injured, until the injury is healed, or if that bird was young, let it reach the age of maturity of flying, then you let it go. So you don't keep it unless if it needs to be taken care of. Because now if you let it go, it will die, something bad will happen, whatever. So no, keep it, nurture it until it's ready to fly, then let it go. So question number 2. من طرق الإحرام. So one of the things which are prohibitions of ihram is to secure the hunt, to keep it with you, keep it safe. That's prohibited. No, let it go. Don't keep it with you. Let the bird or the animal, release them. فهل يصدق ذلك على ما يحتفظ به المحرم في بلاده؟ So let's say a muhrim has something in his hometown. He had hunted and he had kept that thing in the cage. Okay. So and then he went to the Hajj and entered the state of Ihram. So he is securing the hunt. He says the meaning of securing the hunt is in the state of Ihram, not something which you have secured there in your hometown. الممنوع أن يصطحب معه شيئا. The prohibition is to accompany, to take it with. The prohibition upon a muhrim is to carry that hunt with him, or to secure that hunt with him during the state of ihram. Okay. الممنوع أن يصطحب معه شيئا من الصيد حال إحرامه, during the time of ihram. Question number 3. من اصطاد طيرا. Okay. He wants to play around. So he hunted a bird. He is muhrim. Or no, he's not muhrim now. He's going to enter the state of ihram. Before entering the state of ihram, what should he do? He should let it go. Okay. من اصطاد طيرا فجعله عند ابنه. Okay. He kept it with his son. أو خادمه المرافق معه, or the servant which is accompanying him. ثم أحرم هل عليه شيء في ذلك. So after he gave to his son, my son, take care of my hunt, or the servant, then he entered the state of ihram. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. So is there any problem with that? Yes. Because as long as that hunt is under your custody, regardless of who is taking care of or securing it, it's your custody. You should not have any hunt in your custody, any hunted animal in your custody. نعم عليه أن يخرجه من ملكه أو يخلي سبيله. He needs to take it out of his custody, ownership, or let it go. How? So taking out of his ownership, just you release it. We all know, release it, let it fly, let it run away. Okay. But out of its ownership, give it a gift to someone else, your son, the servant. It's not yours anymore. It's not so you don't own a hunted animal. The ownership should be taken away. It's not your ownership anymore. You have just given it to somebody, sold it to somebody, whatever. It's not under your ownership. So question number 4. من كان عنده صيد لغيره فأحرم. Whoever had hunted animal for someone else, like someone else told you, can you please take care of my hunted animal? Okay, so it's not mine, someone else's. He gave it to me amanat. How can I mess up with the amanat? فأحرم, you have somebody else's amanat, you entered the state of ihram. لبيك اللهم لبيك. هل يجوز له الاحتفاظ به أو إعطاؤه للمحل أو يلزم إرساله? One of the three things. Is it permissible for him to secure it as a trust amanat? Okay, somebody gave you amanat to secure it. Should I maintain securing it with me, or I give it to someone who's not in the state of ihram, or I let it go, release it? So if I let it release, am I liable to the owner for a loss which I caused to him? Because when I release him, the owner will say, where did my hunt go? You messed up with him, you let it go, you let it fly away. الجواب: لا يجوز له الاحتفاظ به. Nope. Muhrim should not secure any hunt with him. He's not eating it, he's not hunting. No, you cannot even secure it with you. You cannot keep it as a trust in your hand. Okay, then what should I do, Sayyidina? والأحوط وجوبان إرساله وعدم تسليمه حتى للمحل. On the basis of obligatory precaution, release it, let it go, and not to hand it over to the person who is not in the state of ihram. No, don't hand it over. Just let it go. Why? Because the guy whose hunt is this, he's in the state of ihram. Okay? من كان عنده فأحرم هل يجوز له. Somebody else's hunt is this, but you cannot secure it. So on the basis of obligatory precaution, release it. Even to the muhil, you cannot hand it over. فإن أرسله, if you release it, so walam yumsikhu malikahu. The owner is not muhrim in this case. Sorry, the owner is in the state of not in the state of ihram. So, but he is in the state of ihram. So when he hands it over, that means he secured it. He should not have any title of securing somebody else's hunt. So the way is like that. So the guy, he says, give it back to me. He said, no, I can't give it to you. It's mine. Yeah, but I can't. I can't hand it over to you. Say, I'm going to let it go. You catch it. Okay? So he brings the net and keeps it like that, and he releases it. So he releases it, the guy catches it, or the guy throws the net on that. The owner of the hunt throws the net on it. So once he throws the net on the hunt, he got his property back. So this is something which he cannot hand it over. He has to say, he'll say, my duty is to release it. If you catch it, that's fine. If you don't catch it, then I'll have to pay you the money of the hunt. Okay? فَإِنْ أَرْسَلَهُ وَلَمْ يُمْسِكْهُ مَالِكَهُ. So if he released it and the owner did not catch it, okay, then كَانَ عَلَيْهِ ضَمَانُ. The liability, he will be liable to pay the cost of the animal to the owner. It says ownership. So you have to release it. So when you release it, the owner will come and try to catch it. If he catches it, you are relieved. Then there's no liability on you. But if he doesn't and it ran away or flew away or there's a loss, so you will be liable for that loss. Why? I was just doing something good. Yeah, but why were you securing a hunt You know that in the state of ihram, you should not be securing that. Not hunting, not eating, not securing. Ruling number 5. or question number 5. إذا اصطاد المحرم حيوانا في الحرم فأخرجه إلى خارج الحرم جاهلا. Now this is one of the rulings. Anything in haram should stay in haram, should not be taken out of the haram. Okay? So if you have an animal in the haram, leave in haram. You don't take it out of the haram. إذا اصطاد المحرم حيوانا في الحرم. Now you are in the state of ihram and you hunted an animal inside the haram. Okay? And then you took it out of the haram unknowingly about the ruling, or you had the knowledge of it. عالم جاهلا بالحكم أو عالما به, knowingly and unknowingly, regardless of having the knowledge of it or not having, knowingly or unknowingly. فهل يلزمه إرجاعه إلى الحرام? Then is it necessary to take it back to the haram? He says yes. نعم يجب إعادته إلى الحرم. It is obligatory upon him to return it to the haram. Whatever is this is whatever is in Rome stays in Rome. This whatever is in haram stays in haram. Okay. لو اصطاد صيدا مما يحل أكله. Okay. So now he hunted a hunt which is edible. In previous rulings, we are not talking about edible, non-edible, because hunting is not necessary to eat. It could be to take the skin, to take the feathers, to take whatever benefits of the hunt. But this ruling looks at edible animal. لو اصطاد صيدا, like fish, for example. Okay. For example, I mean, he was in the state of ihram. No, he was not in the state of ihram. Let's say he was coming from Jeddah, and Jeddah has ocean, and then he was fishing, and he got the fish. So لو اصطاد صيدا, I'll give you an example. If he hunts a animal, if he hunts an animal, a hunted animal, which is edible. An example, you fished. مما يحل أكله, which is edible. فطبخه, so he cooked it. Now see the difference, technical difference between this mas'ala. In that mas'ala previously, securing was prohibited because the hunt was hunt. But now the hunt has been converted to food, which is cooked food. مما يحل أكله فطبخه, he cooked the food and then he entered the state of ihram. لبيك اللهم لبيك. Now he is going to carry on with his journey. Where? To the haram, to Mecca. فهل يجوز له اصطحاب الصيد المطبوخ إلى مكة وله أن يأكل منه. So he hunted when? Before entering the state of ihram. What did he hunt? Edible animal. When did he hunt? Before entering the state of ihram. What happened before entering the state of ihram? He cooked it. What did he do? He cooked it. So now, can he carry this with him? Cooked food now. We are talking about cooked, hunted animal to Makkah. Now he's muhrim. Can he take it with him? Because we said you cannot even take the hunted animal with you. You cannot secure it. You cannot carry it with you. None. But now the question is, now it's a cooked, hunted food. So can he carry and can he eat? The answer, يجوز أن يصطحبه إلى مكة. It is permissible for him to carry it with Makkah, to accompany with him, like carry with him. ويجوز أن يأكل منه. But when it is permissible for him to eat also from it, بعد إحلاله من إحرامه, after exiting the state of ihram. لا قبله, not before it. So now we know if he cooked before entering the state of ihram, the hunted food, okay, and it was not in the haram, it was out of the haram. So if he hunted a food before entering the state of ihram, out of the haram, and he cooked it, and then he entered labbaik Allahumma labbaik, okay, in the state of ihram. So, and then he carried with him to Makkah. He can carry in the state of ihram. But can he eat? No. He eats it after exiting the state of ihram. ويجوز له أن يأكل منه بعد إحلاله لا قبله. Now there are three animals they ask a lot: lizard, scorpion, and the snake. So question number 7 says, is it permissible to kill a lizard, kill the lizard or the scorpion or the snake in the state of ihram? The answer, يجوز للمحرم قتل العقرب. It is permissible for a person who's in the state of ihram to kill the scorpion. وكذا وكذا كل حية سوء. Okay. كل حية سوء. Similarly, every snake which is harmful, because there are some snakes, they are not poisonous, as they say. So those snakes which are poisonous and harmful, yes, obviously. So perfect. These two things. وأما الوزغ فلا يجوز له قتلها. And as for the lizard, it is not permissible to kill it for the muhrim, because it's not harmful in general cases. Yes, it jumps into your biryani of chicken or something like that, and you may consider like a meat, and you eat it, something, especially your eyesight was not good like mine, glasses, you are having glasses of reading, especially reading glasses or something like that. I'm telling you this because I had a bad experience. One day I came back to one of the cities, I'll not mention the city, one of the poor country cities, and the water dispenser. So I poured the water in the cup and I started drinking. I was thirsty. I sensed that there was the dust in it. Okay. So I said, why there's dust coming out with it? So what happened that I wore my glasses, I saw there were ants inside and I drank a lot of ant soup. So the ants, they had piled up in the nozzle of the faucet of the dispenser, cooling down inside that area. So when I turned on, ants might have come in and I felt dust in my mouth. May Allah forgive me for swallowing the ant. I hope Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam will not be upset with me on the day of judgment. You ate the ants, you ant eater, you swallower of the ant. Anyhow, so that's why, I mean, if people, they have reading glasses and they see chunk of soft meat inside their biryani in Arafat or Muzdalifah or something like that. So, yeah, so in that case, if you see so many lizards around the food area, you may consider chucking them out or cleaning the area from those lizards, but you cannot kill them unless if it is reaches the level of harm, which is unlikable. Okay, but you can just kick them out. But you cannot kill them. You can take a piece of paper, scoop it. That is if you catch that lizard. But if the lizard was in a hibernation and like a lazy state, watching, spying on you, then that's something else. Okay. So هل يجوز قتل الوزغة والعقرب والحية في حال الإحرام? Is it permissible to kill the lizard and the scorpion so yeah, we said أما الوزغة فلا يجوز له قتلها. Question number 8. هل تجب الكفارة بقتل أو وطء الجراد اضطرارا وما هي كفارة? We mentioned this ruling. It's just repeated about the locust. Remember, one locust you kill you give one date to the poor, one piece of date. You see, I don't know if you'll give nowadays one piece of date to the poor, he'll just throw it back to you. Because I remember one of the brothers, he was in one of the countries, he gave the poor one like small dirham kind of thing. He was beggar, so this poor throws it back on him. Take your dirham back. So nowadays, even the beggars are choosers. They don't like one penny or one pence or 1 cent. No, they want some hefty charity. So anyhow, it does not help. It's just through it like that. So like one date. So one date for killing one locust. Look at the size of the locust, size of the date. So there's a lot of in this kafar of the hunt. The size has some issues to do with that. If you reflect on this kafarat of the animals, it's a big animal, medium size animal, medium. So locust, one date. So if there every locust, but if it becomes plenty, so then we said it's sheep. I'm not going to read this because we already did it. وإن كان لحظة استوى. Yeah, this is the extra part. So then I'm going to read it so we get an integrated picture. He says, هل تجب الكفارة بقتل أو وطء الجراد اضطرارا? You were imposed to, it was a case of necessity. So, and what is the penalty? Is the penalty obligatory on killing locust or stepping on it even out of necessity? And what is the penalty in the case of necessity? كفارة قتل الجراد ولو اضطرارا. The penalty of killing a locust, even if it was out of necessity, okay, تمرة أو كف من الطعام, or handful of food. ومع التعدد, and when it's multiplication of killing, multiplication of kafara, unless if it was plenty in a way, common considered so plenty, like this many locusts, oh, that's a lot, okay, in common consideration. Unless if it was plenty in a way that commonly considered plentiness, the common would consider it plenty, then you will have to pay a sheep. نعم إذا وطأ المحرم الجراد في الطريق. Now let's say you're driving and then you change your route, detour. But if you cannot, and then you rammed on a few, then you're not, it was not avoidable. Then there will be no kafara on that person who faced these swarms of locusts in his way towards the haram or towards his. He was in a state of ihram, obviously. So either he's going towards Makkah or going towards Arafah or Muzdalif or Mina, one on his path, on his way, and it was unavoidable. Even though in unavoidable cases, it's a recommended precaution to just pay the penalty, which is sheep, because if it's sworn, but if it was one piece of date, two, 10 piece of date, but if it's plenty in a way, then it is something else, sheep. It's recommended precaution the route was not alterable and the killing was not avoidable. Okay, last one, he says هل تثبت الكفارات في حق المتمتع فيما إذا أتى بموجبها كأن اصطاد أو تطيب أو جادل. It's more general ruling on kafara. It's not specific on hunting, but hunting is part of it. So you know that if somebody abandons Umrah is pillar of, Tawaf of around the Kaaba is pillar of, or Hajj and Umrah. Obviously, come on, Hajj means visiting the house of God, Hajj Baytullah al-Haram. And you go do the Arafat and Muzdalifah and Mina and everything, but you don't do Tawaf around the Kaaba. That's really a strange thing. Unless if it was forgetfulness, something. But intentionally you missed the tawaf around the Kaaba. Like, what are you doing there? Why have you gone there? Just to see Arafat and Muzdalifah and Mina. What about the tawaf around the Kaaba, the main visiting of the house of God? So let's say, هل تثبت الكفارة في this question has two sections. Okay? So just focus with me with the two sections. Section number one. Does the penalty become fixed in the case of someone who is in the عمرة التمتع or حج التمتع فيما إذا أتى بموجبها ثم بطل. So he performed his Umrah, and during this Umrah or Hajj, in the Ihram of Umrah and Ihram of Hajj Mutamatta', he hunted, or he used perfume, or he did arguments. After that, the Umrah became invalid due to abandoning the tawaf, for example. Okay? So he did these things in the state of Ihram, but then he realized that the Umrah became invalid. So now when Umrah became invalid, when his Umrah was invalid, and in that invalid Umrah, state of Ihram, he had committed one of these violations of Ihram. So is the penalty obligatory? Umrah is invalid. So why should I be doing the penalty? He says, no. If you realize, there are two cases here, as I said. When did you realize that your Umrah was invalid? During the Umrah or after, or before, from the beginning, from the time you entered the state of Ihram? If he says from the time I entered the state of Ihram, my Ihram was invalid, so my Umrah was invalid, okay, then all these kafarat, they don't hold any place. Okay, so in this situation, if you knew إذا تبين بطلانه من الأول, you knew from the beginning, because you did not say labbaik, or you did not make the intention properly, okay, so you did not enter the state of Ihram, so your whole Umrah was invalid. So that means whatever violation you did, they don't hold any place of violation, because there's no Umrah. If there's no Umrah, as they say in Arabic, Saliba binti fa'il mawdu', it is negative because there's no subject for it. There's no predication on the subject, because it's the subject is not available. The ihram was not there. So everything you did became invalid. Then everything became invalid. Then all the invalidators you did, there is no penalty for it. So that is case number one. If you knew from the beginning, فيما إذا تبين بطلان إحرامي من الأول. But if it was, he performed all whatever was needed in Umrah, but he did not do the tawaf, okay, so his Umrah became invalid. So this is knowing in the middle or at the end. And then he had done some invalid violations of Ihram, which requires kafara, penalty. So you'll say, no, in this case, you will pay the penalty. In this case, you will pay the penalty. So in the first case, when you know that from the beginning, your Ihram was invalid, your Umrah was invalid, and then you did violations of Ihram, no kafara. But if you did some rituals of Umrah, and then you did something which invalidates your Umrah, such as not performing the tawaf. So in this case, and you had done some violations, you need to pay kafara. So tomorrow, inshallah, we are going to take the private relations between husband and wife, which are which is prohibited in the state of ihram. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله